I've been putting this one off for a long ass time. And I mean long. About a year ago, I read Anna Karenina for the first time, and it absolutely astounded me. It became the standard to which I measured every single book that I read, and it got me on a classic craze. I was trying to read every classic I could get my hands on. I'm talking Count of Monte Cristo, everything Dostoevsky, but the one book that I seemed to avoid was War and Peace. I knew the book was good from what everyone was saying, and after reading Anna Karenina, I knew Tolstoy couldn't do any wrong. I knew this book would be good. I just was a bit scared to read it because I thought it wouldn't be quite as good as Anna Karenina. I thought because of its larger scope and focus on war, it wouldn't get the same level of introspective character detail as Anna Karenina. I wouldn't be able to delve as deep into its characters as they did in Anna Karenina. I thought it's good, but it can't be as good as Anna Karenina, can it? So I put it off for a while because I didn't want to bear that kind of disappointment. Not to say that this book would have disappointed me. I knew it would be good. I just didn't want to check it out because I knew it wouldn't be good as Anna Karenina. So I went on and read Dostoevsky, and no book since, aside from maybe Brothers Karamazov, has managed to top Anna Karenina. So recently, I went out, I went downtown, went to a bookstore, and I saw War and Peace on the shelves for $12. It was a steal because look at how long this book is for such a low price. So I decided to buy it, and I decided to check it out. And over the course of the next 3 or so weeks, I finally read War and Peace in its entirety. And boy, did I do I have feelings. Every expectation that I had for this book, every expectation for it to be good, every just all the hype, it is not good by a long shot. It did not meet those expectations by a long shot because holy crap. I cannot I I can recommend any book to people. Even if it's a bad book, I'm pretty sure anyone can get something out of even a bad book, ironic enjoyment or even genuine enjoyment. But this book, I almost cannot recommend it to anyone. Like, no, no, you shouldn't read this book. It, you should stay clear of it. You shouldn't subject yourself to it. You know why? Because every single book that you have read before and every book that you will read after will seem like a disappointment in comparison. This book wasn't good. It didn't meet my expectations. It absolutely eviscerated them, tore them to shreds, sat me the fuck down, and showed me what true art can be. It wasn't good. I don't even think there's a word that can describe the level of quality this novel achieves. I am so dumb for never checking this book out. I am so dumb for thinking that Anna Karenina could never be topped. That wouldn't be as good as Anna Karenina. That wouldn't achieve the same level of sophistication, detail, and character analysis as that book. This is everything to me. This is the new degree to which I will measure all art that I consume. Not just novels, everything, because dear God, there is so much in this one. I genuinely cannot do it justice with words. And I say that for a lot of books. But for this one, I mean it. I really mean it. The only way to do just this book justice is to read it yourself. Gaze upon every single word in this expansive yet ever intriguing epic of a book. Now, I did have experience with the War and Peace story before reading the book. I watched Sergei Bondarchuk's 1960s masterpiece, War and Peace, the adaptation of this book. It was 7.5 hours long, and it was expansive. It was long and slow in some parts, but it was one of the best movies I had ever seen. And from that, I kind of got a general idea of the War and Peace story, and I thought the book would probably be just as good as the movie, but I thought after having seen the movie, I don't really think I needed to check out the book because I already knew the story, and the movie did a good job at conveying it to me. Boy, was I stupid for that decision because this book is better than the movie in every single way, which is saying a lot because the movie is absolute masterpiece. This, I don't even think masterpiece does any justice. This book doesn't just transcend art. It truly is a god amongst every novel I have ever read. Like, the gap of quality between this book and Anna Karenina is astounding. Anna Karenina is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, as close to perfection I had ever read before reading this one. This book, again, I don't think a number score is enough for this book. I don't think any amount of praise is enough for this. As I mentioned before, I thought that this book, due to its epic scale, wouldn't be able to explore its characters as thoroughly. Boy, was I wrong, because this book has so many intriguing, well-developed, and memorable characters. It deals with multiple families, people within the war, so many different characters taking part in this grand, ever-growing narrative. It shifts perspectives. It it's constantly moving from place to place, and yet, in spite of that, it manages to balance these characters, give everyone a time to shine, and fully realize every single one of them in spite of its ever-moving nature. Every family, every character is developed perfectly. Every single character, the entire book is so thematically and psychologically rich. It deals with how, like, humanity, how the part they play in such a big event as this one, as the Napoleon War on Russia. And, like, again, I'm being very vague about, like, exactly what makes this book so good because I can't do it justice with those words, with those descriptions. I When I finished this book, I wasn't exhausted. I was craving more. I I when I finished the book, when I closed it from that final page, I just had to put it down and stare at it. And I kid you not, I stared at that book for a good 10, 15 minutes. Of course, it was like early in the morning and I had nothing else better to do, so might as well. And there are a few other pieces of art that truly, truly have astounded me to that level. Anna Karenina kind of did. So did Brothers Karamazov, and so did Count of Monte Cristo. And yeah, my top five books of all time has always been set in stone. Number five, Lord of the Rings. Four, Lonesome Dove. Three, Count of Monte Cristo. Two, Anna Karenina. One, Brothers Karamazov. They kind of switch places. Karamazov and Karenina kind of, they're the two best books I had ever read before reading this one. This one demolishes every single book in that top five in nearly every way. Maybe Karamazov is slightly more thematically rich, but it's because that one kind of focuses more. It's a lot tighter. Anna Karenina and Karamazov are both more tighter and more focused books than this one. But the fact is that this one manages to balance, develop, and fully realize all these different plot points and characters and make them all cohesive and balanced within this ever growing, expansive story, never losing sight of any of them, never forgetting them, never forgetting to like complete arcs, never it realizes everything. Everything. I This attention to detail, this genius, this brilliance, the care and attention to detail that went into writing every inch of this masterpiece is astounding, and I am yet to see a single artist in the history of mankind come to the same level as Leo Tolstoy. Dostoevsky comes close, but like I've only read 2 Tolstoy books, and I've read 4 Dostoevsky novels, but Anna Karenina and War and Peace, that combined duo, is better than all 4 of those books. Maybe Anna Karenina isn't as good as Karamazov, but this book is better than no, not just every Dostoevsky book, every single book I have ever read. It really just, and I'm mad that I read this book. I really think I really think I should have checked this book out. I regret reading it because now every book I read afterwards will feel like a disappointment in comparison. Nothing will ever reach the same level as this masterpiece. And I am mad about that because there are so many pieces of art, so many books that I've been interested in checking out, but I know none of them will ever reach this level. None of them. I will always have this book in mind when I'm like critically unpacking other books because I'm going to be comparing them to this one, saying, okay, yeah, but War and Peace did that better. But War and Peace did that better. War and Peace does everything better than any book I've read. And I've read like 110, this one included. And like, holy crap. I can just go on and on. I could dedicate an entire 5 hour video to this book, to its brilliance, to every inch of it. And that wouldn't be enough. I could dedicate my entire channel to this book, and I wouldn't even be touching the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this novel's brilliance. And like, I I cannot. Again, I have been ranting. I have been stumbling over my words in this absolute mess of a video. And, like, I will never, ever in the right mind recommend this book to anyone because it will ruin all other novels for you, all other art. War and Peace is the new standard to which I will measure everything I consume in art. Every book, every movie, every video game, every TV show, every anime, even my own art, which sucks because this book is going to give me a really big confidence issue when it comes to writing my own books because it's going to be lingering in my mind. War and Peace did it better. War and Peace did it better. You got to do it like War and Peace. You'll never write anything as good as War and Peace. I know I'll never write anything as good as War and Peace. No one will ever write anything as good as War and Peace. Tolstoy never recaptured this level of brilliance, even with Anna Karenina, which is a masterpiece, but not to the same degree as War and Peace. The night that I finished this book, I cuddled the book like it's a fucking teddy bear. And I will continue to do that because holy crap, I am truly gifted to be in the presence of such brilliance with this book. And nothing will ever possibly top it. Nothing that will come in the future, nothing that already exists, nothing. It's War and Peace. It's the greatest novel ever written. And I can't believe I ever doubted that fact for a second because greatest novel ever written isn't enough for this book. It means everything to art.